Hello, I wanted to share a little bit about something I was just kind of thinking about, and this is something that I read like a really long time ago, but it was like an article online, and it kind of it laid out the four perspectives or whatever of stages, I guess, of like self awareness and like coming to enlightenment or whatever, which I want to find another word for that because it just feels so overused and cheesy these days. And maybe that's because people use it incorrectly a lot or we don't really understand what it means. But, anyways, this article broke it down into like basically four different ways of perceiving life in the universe, and how they correlate with like ascension and understanding and awareness of ourselves and the spirit in general. And so the first one was to me, right? This is where majority of us live in the world. And this is where I lived for a very long time. This is where we start off. To me. Life happens to me, right? We are very separate from the universe, right? In this understanding of life. Life, external things happen to us beyond our control to us, right? We are, in a sense, victims of life. And like I said, this is kind of just the base where I feel like every human starts off with the understanding of life. And maybe I'm wrong, but at least in my self-awareness or lack thereof, really, this is where I began in my lack of self-awareness, where life happened to me, right? So one is to me. Stage two is by me, right? This is where we step up and we realize that I can have a say in my life and in what I experience by becoming the co-creator of my universe, right? We are still kind of very separate in this understanding from the rest of everything, but we begin to reclaim our power in the by me stage, right? And we see a lot of people coming into the New Age community here, looking at things like manifestation and all of that, right? And so that's it's a very large and wide array of things fit into this stage of by me, but it is where we reclaim a bit of our power. We move out of victimhood and we move into creator, right? Co-creator, really, of our experience. We understand that though we cannot control the external beyond us, we do create and cultivate the internal. And through that conscious co-creation within ourselves, it does alter the external in a way, at least our perception of it. And so then the next stage, they said, there's to me, by me, and then there's through me, right? In stage three. Through me is where we begin to see people like Buddhist monks and things like that in a way, where we have gone through true, not loss of ego, but discipline of ego, right? We can't lose our ego if we would like to be sane in our body, right? We need a sense of self, because our bodies are very separate from one another. So we need to understand that we don't control other people's minds and they don't control ours, right? But in the through me stage, to the best of my understanding, I wouldn't say I'm even necessarily there, but from my understanding of the through me stage is that it is about having the ego disciplined enough to where we're not putting our own desires above everyone else, right? We're not so fixed on co-creating our universe to make it the best for us, right? It's about the balance of life and letting that universal life force use you as a conduit, letting go of your own desire and need to be validated or feel special or any of these things that we might have desired in the by me stage, right? And so through me is about that relinquishing of individualness and the acceptance of the oneness of us all, where we allow life to work through us. We allow the universe to speak through us. This is where we listen to our intuition, and maybe it doesn't make sense in our heads, but we understand that this is something that needs to be done, right? Maybe you never give money to homeless people, but all of a sudden you're driving by one day and you see someone and you think, well, I have $5 in my wallet. I think they need it more than I do, right? It's not about you, because you stand to gain nothing from giving a homeless person $5, really. Maybe like a sense of pride or something, but monetarily, physically, you gain nothing, right? It's not about you or your desire. It's about seeing the need and understanding that one of us needs to fill it. Choosing yourself in a way to become that interchangeable worker of life, and doing what needs to be done. And then what is supposed to be after that is as me. So there's to me, by me, through me, and as me. And this, I'm probably going to have a difficult time explaining because I don't think I'm anywhere close to this, but this would be where we see things like Krishna or Christ consciousness, this understanding of their own divinity in a way that is consistent and stable while also maintaining the physical reality, right? But that kind of as me, the universe, all of it is me in this stage, and it's that full grasp, that understanding, not just knowing it in your head, but really feeling that. And I don't know if any humans ever gotten there that I know of. I mean, definitely not anyone I know in my own personal life. Sorry guys, if you think you're enlightened and like Buddha, I haven't met you. And if I haven't met you and you think that, then, but anyway, no judgment. There's a little bit of judgment, but I'm trying to be non-judgmental, but but yeah, so I just kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit, because I really like how that article I read probably a decade ago broke it down. I'd just never seen it like that before, because it seems very simple, right? But you don't just hop from one level to the next. Sometimes there are decades of work that go into one of these levels. I personally probably spent about 2 decades in me. And I think I'm still in the by me stage, and I'm excited to keep learning in this stage and really grasping my power in the world, understanding and truly accepting that I do co-create my reality, not by being magical and suddenly making the sky purple or nothing, but by creating a different perception of myself when these things that previously caused me harm or trauma happened. Now, when these things can happen, I would like to believe and expect that my reaction is going to be different. And so this is a process. It's still going, and it's going to go for however long it needs to go for. Don't know if I'll ever get to through me. I doubt I'll ever get to as me, but it's just interesting kind of to see the differences in them. And I think for me especially, it has been life-changing to move from to me to by me. No longer do I feel like I am a victim of life or existence. And I don't feel as helpless, and I feel more motivated to co-create my universe because I don't feel helpless, I guess. So yeah, I wanted to share that little bit with people who maybe are, well, it really, for any stage that you're in, it's applicable to understand this knowledge. And it's probably someone's own perception of spirituality and my parroting of their perception. So, might be a little bit like a game of telephone. And as always, don't take my word for things. Go and feel it all yourself, right? Look it up yourself, read it yourself. Your journey is going to be about you, not taking my exact steps, right? But I do just share this in case I am a step in someone's journey, and in case my understanding and my hard work can boost someone else or be in that right place, right time for them. Maybe a little through me mentality, right? But I think it's going to be very difficult to enter into the through me phase until I have truly satiated and disciplined my own ego, because I do have issues with my ego still. I think, honestly, most people do. If you ever feel insecure or anxious or depressed, these are ego issues, I believe, at the root of it, they're issues with identity, because that's what ego is our self-identity, our identity, our concept of ourself, rather. And so, yeah, I do have lots of work to do on my own ego. I definitely get insecure at times. I don't always listen to my intuition, and, that's just something I have to work on, right? But the more I work on these parts, which are part of the co-creator nature of this stage in my life, because when I can create in myself stability or security or peace, this changes how I interact with everything in the external, right? And so I'm really excited being in this phase, and yeah, I just wanted to share that with people. I think it could be helpful. So much love to y'all. Have a good day.